What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ultimate Majin. Today I'm going to be bringing you my super awesome World Tournament Goku deck profile. Just before I get into the deck profile, I want to remind you guys that this is just a template for you guys to get an idea. Just like all the other deck profiles on my list, none of them are like end-all be-all deck lists and solved lists for the most part. It's just how I would play the deck or how I would start off playing a deck, you know? So that being said, comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this video. At the end, drop a comment, say what you like, what you didn't like, and how to maybe possibly improve the channel. Moving forward with the deck profile, we'll start off with the leader here. This one's super awesome. He says, one attack you can draw a card, and then you can discard a card from your hand and make the next time you play a 2-cost extra. This turn, you don't have to pay the cost. So he lets you resolve all these 2-cost extra cards in the deck for free, essentially. And you use them to control the board and gain tempo and pressure your opponent with by double striking them for a game and things like that. So moving forward, we're gonna start off with the 1-drops in the deck. These are very important in the deck because of those of you who are familiar with the deck. You play a card called Cross-Arm Dive, and that lets you return cards from your field to your hand to play a 3-cost card from your hand. So the 1-drops are really important because ideally you want to play one of these guys on turn 1, resolve the effect, and then turn 2 play Cross-Arm Dive. So we're gonna have a fair amount of these 1-drops in the deck. So that way we can consistently resolve that combo if possible. So of course we have 4 draw ones. Trunks, he's awesome. We got 4 of the new Chi-Chi. This one lets you discard an extra card to draw 2. And then we got 4 announcers. This one lets you look at the top 5 to add a card with 4 or less in World Tournament and it straights to your hand. And then we got 4 Garen. He's pretty much a 10k, of course, and then bottom deck's a 1-cost card. So we play 16 1-costs. So that way we can consistently see a 1-drop, 12 of them of which are really good on turn 1, of course. This card's more of like a turn 2 card or a late game card, as well as just a 10k, like I mentioned. And that's it for the 1-drop. So ideally we want to play the Trunks or play this Chi-Chi or Announcer. And then we're going to go into turn 2 or Cross-Arm deck for our hand. So hopefully play our Jackie Chuns here. So what he does is he's a Self-Awakener. And then if you activate an extra this turn, at the end of the turn, you get to draw a card. So if you have multiple Jackie Chuns out, you can draw 2, which is awesome. And it's also if you he doesn't have to be on board, right? So he'll recognize if you activated one earlier in the turn, which is, of course, really nice because that way you don't have to resolve the cards weird. And that's what's really important. Another thing that's important about this deck is the sequencing of how you resolve everything is not easy. That's what makes this deck very hard. In my opinion, it's hard to build this deck and hard to pilot this deck because the sequencing and the piloting is very hard. That being said, that doesn't mean this is a bad deck. This deck is very, very good. It's just going to take a lot of time, and the skill curve is very high on this deck, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of that stuff. I like when decks have that really, really intense gameplay lines where you can really solve them or learn more and find more combos the more you play it. So next is our 3-drop. We're not playing Nam anymore, unfortunately. I was actually a big Nam fan because he was a really consistent card for me when I was testing the list previously before we got this new 4-cost TN in here. But he's really good. He lets you draw 2, discard 2, which helps you filter your hand and get all those extras and drops. That way we can grab them back later or get our deck cards out of hand, multiples of things. And then he's also bottom deck's a 2-cost or less. And then he also, when attacking, Self-Awakens. So he's really good in that regard where, he can, playing him on curve is a really nice tempo swing or playing them off of the Cross-Arm Dive, bottom decking something, drawing 2, discarding 1, swinging into something, and Self-Awakening. It's a lot of cards. It does a lot of stuff. So I think he's a 4 of, at least in my list with the new TN card. Next, we got 4 Monkeys. These guys are really fun. He's a 10k. If you have if you have an extra in your drop, he costs 2. So he's like a Glorio, essentially. And then you can just play him off of Cross-Arm Dive also because he'll cost 2 in hand, and then he also costs 4 on play, so that makes him, not every card can bottom deck him or bounce with him. A lot of cards are around 3 or less, so they'd have to invest in multiple cards. And when he's KO'd, you get to add a card with a cost of 3 from your drop to your hand. So that's any card, so it's not just extra. That's all this whole pile of cards over here, and almost this whole pile of cards over here, any extra you'd like as well. So this card's super versatile. I like saving him for a kind of late game and dropping multiples of it at a time. For 4 energy, 2 at a time. That way for 4 energy, I got 2 25k swings and then 2 floaters, so it's really hard for them to deal with. Next, we got the new TN. This guy's awesome. You could play 4 probably. I'm just trying out 3 and 3 at the moment. He's also a 10k, so that's really awesome too. But what he does is on play, you get to play a 4-cost TN from your hand into play, and then you can't play TNs for the rest of the turn. So you can play himself, or you can play the other TN, which is, this is the crit one, where when on play, gets to add 2 extras from your drop to your hand with different names. So that's insanely broken. So you're going to be able to go like this TN into, sorry about shaking the camera, into this TN, into grabbing 2 cards back. So they'll replace both themselves. And then you can go like swing with this, swing with this, swing with this, draw another, you know. So that's an insanely broken line. And then what you could also do is be like, all right, let's say we're awakened. You can go like swing with this one of these guys, boost one of these guys, combo one off. You can get like a 30K, and a 45K with scissors, paper, rock, possibly draw cards as well. So it's insane. A lot of pressure, and at least board presence was what the deck needed mid-game. You know, in the early game, we're going to do our cross-arm dive plays, and then in the mid-game, like our mid-range plays, we're going to be going like TNs plus monkeys. Or we can use the 5-drop guy, this one here, to hit them down on life or combo off with, right? So the reason you play 3, he's the like essentially the boss monster, not much of a boss monster. Like I kill people without this card a lot, by the way. But what he does is on play, the next extra you play that costs 2 or less, is activated again for free. So what you can do is like resolve. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong pile of cards. What you could do is resolve this twice when going for lethal. Bottom deck 2 cards, stun and draw 2 cards. You know, stun 2 monsters from attacking and draw 2. Or I did a crazy play the other day where I resolved crossarm dive twice. So I had 2 guys out, swung with those, played him. When leader effect discard, activated crossarm dive, bounced my other 2 guys back, played 2 more, swung with both of those, and then swung with that. It was insane. But like that's just one line, you know. I just barely started playing the deck, you know. But as you can see, this card's effect is pretty out of hand. I mean, this is like the blue striker, double striker now. Like they have like a utility piece now in their double striker blue decks, which is really cool. They're blessed to have that. Wish I could have something like that in my color. I like to play yellow. Yellow's got plenty of good stuff, of course. And then we got 4 super combos. I like this launch one. I like how you got my homie in the background there. It looks pretty chill. Next, we have the extras. We got 4 cross-arm dives. So this is that card I've been talking about. It lets you bounce. It doesn't have to be a 1 cost, by the way. It's return any blue card with a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand, and then play a card with 3 or less in World Tournament and special traits from your hand. So it's not actually leader locked. It's just locked into the cards you can play off of its effect. So you can technically play this in any blue deck as long as you have World Tournament targets, which isn't going to probably be happening very often, but it's cool to note. And then, like, you know, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, ideal line of play that you can do, you'd be like, go this dude, draw a card, turn 2 comes, you'll swing with your leader, draw another, you'll activate this, you'll play Jackie Chun, you'll self-awaken, and then at the end of your turn, you'll draw. And it's just like a crazy tempo turn. Like, you get to cheat out a big body early, as well as getting your 1-drop back for later in the game for like discard targets to continuously draw with those cards as well, or to continue bouncing with cross-arm dives and keep like pressuring your opponent. This is like an aggro deck, you know what I mean? You pretty much just want to hyper awaken. Resolving this card like once or twice a game is definitely gonna help you win. You know, this isn't like, by the way, this isn't like the end-all be-all to the deck, you know what I mean? This is just like one facet for the early to mid-game, and there are some late game combos, like I mentioned, the one with the double striker a moment ago. But this is like your early game plays right here. And then next we got double scissors, paper, rock. What this one does is you gain 25k power for the battle, and then if you have 7 less cards from your hand, you draw a card. So what you do with this card is you'll go ahead and go double striker, you'll attack, you'll combo off all of your hands, that way you're at 7 or less, and then you'll activate this, it'll dupe twice, you'll gain 50k, and then you'll draw 2 because you comboed your whole hand off before. So that's how you do that. So this card, like, literally just makes your guy, like, every time you swing for lethal in this deck, it's 100k or more every single time. Like, it's like 130, 150. I hit 165 the other day. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you could hit 200 in some way. Like, it may not be in a tournament, but this deck could probably hit 200 someone, which I wouldn't be surprised. And again, this is also active battle. So what I found myself doing sometimes, too, is resolving this even on turn 2. If I don't have cross-arm dive, I'll go, like, play 1-drop, charge. It'll all add up, right? Where, like, depending if you swing with your leader or not, and, like, depending on how the interactions go, if you take a life and things like that. But you should be able to resolve this on turn 2. So take their life, draw a card. Keep your hand advantage up. You want to keep your hand advantage with this deck, because you can run out of cards very quickly due to the leader effect and a couple other discardings. Like, you have to be very careful when you're filtering. So this just, like, helps the deck kind of get it there and see all its pieces, because sometimes it can break on some of these weird cards in here, like these extras, for example. Enough of that one. And then, again, you can use it defensively also, which is cool. Double tri-beam. This one right here is cool. It lets you bottom deck any 2 or any 5 costs or less. So, like, this is almost like the reason why I wanted to play the deck. I just think this card's so much fun. And it's also really cool being able to go, like, turn 5, bottom deck 2 units, or go, like, the TN combo. Bottom deck something, have 3 swings at their leader. like, damn, that's insane. I wanted to play 3, but I think 2 is just good of all of these cards. Like, other than that crossarm dive, which you want to see opening hand. So I just playing 2 of all these other ones. And then this is the last card here. We got 2 Thundershock Surprise. So this is for the decks and they have cards that you can't Tri-Beam. You Thundershock Surprise them. So that way they're stunned down. You'll draw a card. And then you just keep recycling this, keep trying to set up your lethal turn. And this is just good into any deck, honestly. You know what I mean? Anytime they're trying to pressure you and put you in an awkward spot, you just resolve this, it replaces itself. And then you just continue playing, right? So that was my World Tournament Goku deck profile. I appreciate you guys coming and taking a look at the deck. I think this deck's really awesome. It's for sure the best blue deck right now by far. This new TN card is really broken. It has really cool cards, really broken cards in it. Like, all the extras are broken. The crossarm dive combos are broken. You know what I mean? When I'm playing with this deck, I feel like I'm playing something pretty powerful. I would say this is definitely like an A tier, tier 1 deck, in my opinion. The yellow decks being like S tier, you know, tier 0.5. They're just kind of on a whole nother level right now with the cards they have. But all that being said, thank you guys for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. If you like the content. Hit that notification bell so that way you guys can see when I upload more videos. Hope you guys have a good afternoon. Ultimate Majin signing off. Bye.